So I'm going to be talking about spoilers for Scary Movie 6. So if you care at all for some reason about this film, leave. Because I'm not going to care. So I'm not a fan of the Scary Movie films. I've only seen the first two, and when I say I have a strong dislike for that kind of humor, I'm not saying it hyperbolically. I'm saying that in an honest way. I watched Scary Movie 2 once and just felt it was god awful. And then one time I thought I'll stick on the first Scary Movie, for a daft little time. And even expecting just a daft little not serious time, I even walked away from Scary Movie 1 with just as much of a strong disdain for the second film. So when the trailer for Scary Movie 6 came out, I thought, this looks horrendous. This looks absolutely dreadful. But I thought I'll give it a go. Because why not? I'm always willing to give a film a go. And I like silly films. I like parody stuff. I'm a big Lonely Island guy. I really like Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. I really like the new Naked Gun film. I like the old Naked Gun films. I like Airplane. I like Blazing Saddles. I like silly films that don't take themselves seriously. I like the Lego Batman movie. So I thought, you know what? I'll go into the film with like trying to get it out, like any preconceived dislike out my mind. I thought, I'm just going to watch the film fresh. And try to have a good time with it. And that lasted all about 2 minutes. And I hate Scary Movie 6. I hate this film so much. But what I will say is, if you like Scary Movies 1 and 2, you might like Scary Movie 6. I'm not saying this as a I'm better than you kind of thing. If you enjoy scary movies, and if you like Scary Movie 6, I'm happy for you. Good on you. I'm glad that you find some sort of humor in this fucking shit show. Because I certainly didn't. So, and I don't dislike everything about the film. There are things in this film. There's very few things in this film where I'm like, okay, I like that. One thing that I really like, I liked about the film is the way it looks. It is lit like a modern horror. When the film opens with a sweeping, like a establishing shot of New York City, and we're going in to the bar, it looks like it's lit and it's shot like Scream 6. And the whole film is lit and shot like a horror film from the 2020s. It doesn't just look like a Netflix comedy. It looks like it fits within, it's actually got a good color grade to it, and it's actually got good lighting. It doesn't look cheap. It's a baffling thing to me, though, that I have to say that as a positive. The fact that, this film looks like a film. Like it shouldn't just be expected. And there are two jokes in this film that got a chuckle out of me. And one of them was immediately ruined by the follow-up. But I'll talk about the first one that got a chuckle out of me, and I was fine with it. It wasn't ruined later on. I chuckled from this joke. It was during the point of where the Melissa Barrera parody character is getting attacked by the Ghostface with a knife in the hospital to parody Scream 5. And there's a moment where the Ghostface swings his knife and stabs a poster of the Human Anatomy. And in that moment, the illustration of the man screams in pain. And that made me chuckle. And just think about it now, that's a funny thing. It's so absurdist, and it's not. It doesn't go on. It's just a one and done stab. Ah! This cartoon man screams, and then that's the joke. That's funny to me. And the other funny bit, which ruined itself immediately, there's a point when they're outside the school, and the sexually promiscuous character dumps out a big butt plug, like a comically huge butt plug, and it drops on the table and it wobbles. That's not the funny bit. The bit that made me chuckle, again, I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember verbatim what was said, but she drops the butt plug, it wobbles, everyone else is like, whoa, where did that come from? And then she goes, well, it's easy to hide. And there's a bit of a pause, and I'm like, okay, good. And I remember thinking to myself, good bit. And then as soon as I said to myself, good bit, she then went, in my butt. And I went, you fucking ruined that. Why did you do that? Why did you have to say, you didn't need to say it. You didn't need to say that. We know, and this is the fault. The film is made for the lowest... just the bottom of the barrel sense of humor. And now I'm aware that I said, if you find this funny, all power to you. Good on you. I'm glad you find humor in it. But I'm still going to say that to me, this humor has always just felt for the lowest common denominator. It feels like it's talking to just the most stupidest kind of people. And it's so insufferable. The film is embarrassing. It's insufferable and embarrassing. That was immediately what I thought. And as I said, I remember, like 2 minutes into the film, I thought to myself, I could just leave. I could just walk out right now. Because the film opens, and this encapsulates it to me. The film opens with basically a shot-for-shot recreation of the Scream 6 opening with Samara Weaving. But this one's got Tiana Taylor in it. Now, I'm like, okay, I recognize this. This is shot exactly like how the Scream 6 opening was shot. She's wearing a yellow dress like Samara Weaving was. Everything seems I can understand this is familiar. Immediately when this is happening, Tiana Taylor, there's immediately just a sex joke, which is all this film has to offer. It's just toilet humor and sex humor, which once you go, yes, people have sex, what else are you trying to say? You know what I mean? The concept of having sex isn't funny, but the Wayans brothers sure think it is, and they really want you to think it's funny as well, that people having sex is really funny. And after like a random ass sex joke, Tiana Taylor then screams out a one battle after another reference saying Viva la Revolution, and then I just want to end it all. Because yes, I know you were in one battle after another. I know that is a film you were in. What's the joke? What am I meant to find funny about that? And it's just, and that's the humor. There's no actual setups with a punchline. All the humor that exists in Scary Movie is it's referencing that something exists, and they say it with a stupid voice and a silly face. And that's the humor. And it really wants you to find it funny, someone saying something in an odd way. And fine, do it once. Sure. But when that's every fucking scene of this film, it gets so infuriating, and I want to claw my face off. And it's just, and I'm aware that I said this is stupid, and I'm also aware that I've said that I'm a fan of something like Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stoppin', and the new Naked Gun film. I like those films. those are perfectly stupid. And you might be like, well, Scary Movie's also stupid, Oscar. What's your issue? My issue being is that so for example, if you look at Naked Gun, the one with Liam Neeson, that film is so absurdist and so ridiculous, but everyone in that film, all the characters in that film, take the events of the film and take the world of the film very seriously. There's no one looking at the camera being all tongue-in-cheek. Liam Neeson is playing that role like a serious detective, and Pamela Anderson is playing that role like a genuine femme fatale in a noir. But then there's just silly stuff happening around them. Whereas in Scary Movie, no one takes this seriously. So why the fuck should I? Why the fuck should I ever be invested in anything that's happening in this film? The storyline of Scary Movie 6 is just, it's Scream 5. The narrative is Scream 5. But the film doesn't exist for a narrative to take place. The film exists for us to go to a scene and for them to just randomly reference a horror film. I don't mind the concept of spoofing and parodying the concept of like the Jamie Lee Curtis character from Halloween, or also the grandmother from Final Destination Bloodlines, and those kinds of characters where they were the final girls and now they're hardened people with booby traps. I don't mind the thought of parodying that and dissecting modern horror tropes, and dissecting it and examining it in a more tongue-in-cheek way. But Scary Movie doesn't have any commentary about that. It just exists to be like, do you remember when Jamie Lee Curtis is a crazy person in Halloween? Do you remember that? Do you remember that Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday? Do you remember that? And it's just the most... and there's no jokes. There's no jokes. It's Marlon Wayans sat on a couch doing a Get Out parody, and there's tears flowing from his face like a fountain, and the joke being that Daniel Kaluuya cries in Get Out? What am I meant to take away from this? What am I meant to do with anything that this film's given me? And not only, and fair enough, fine, do shit jokes about modern horror. There's moments where Anna Faris just screams at someone, "Stop smiling at me!" Like, I go, okay, I get it. They're referencing Smile. Sure. There's a point where the Gale Weathers parody gets injected like The Substance, and it's called The Stuff, and I get it. They're referencing The Substance. The Substance exists, guys! Isn't that funny? And they throw in a White Chicks reference, which is just all the more enjoyable. Jesus Christ. And Sinners exists. They do two stupid fucking Sinners jokes, and it's just so like jokes. There's a point where I forgot it's not Damon Wayans. Is it Sean Wayans? The other main Wayans brother that's in this film. Rocks up to a church, and it's meant to be like the opening of Sinners, and the joke being that the guy's gay, and it can't just be a one-off little joke. It then has to descend into him miming sucking a penis and miming doing gay acts when everyone else ends up being outraged. Like, fuck me, man. This wasn't funny in 2000. So, how is it meant to, like, I don't, what am I missing, guys? What am I actually missing? Someone please tell me, what am I actually missing that this is meant to be funny? What am I meant to laugh at? Explain the joke to me, for God's sake. So it's all fine and dandy doing all that. But then there's another thing that these spoof movies really fucking did my head in with. Was that they would not just parody the genre, they would try to parody other things. There's a COVID joke in 2026. There's an O.J. Simpson joke in 2026. There's an ice reference. Yes, it's relevant, but what the fuck am I... There's a John Wick joke where Anna Faris dresses up in John Wick and fights a load of ghost faces in John Wick cosplay. And the joke being that John Wick exists. This is what I don't... I'm aware I'm going in circles, and I'm aware I'm repeating my point. But this is exactly what this dumbass film does as well. It's awful. I hate it. I by the end of it, I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, whatever. I saw someone say, like, isn't it embarrassing that Scary Movie 6 has a better ghost face reveal than Scream 7? And to that, I'll add, none of them are good, and both of them are terrible equally. Do you know what it is? It's not the fact that the ghost face reveal in Scary Movie 6 is bad. In the context of the film, it's actually, okay, cool, because it plays out like, oh, the Jack Quaid guy is actually the killer, because that's, that was the end of Scream 5. Sorry for spoilers for Scream 5. That's actually a good film. That's actually a good film. And then the joke being like, no, actually the real ghost faces were the two Wayans brothers and Anthony Anderson and Shaquille O'Neal, who replaced Kevin Hart in the casting. And the joke being, and the reveal being like, we're back because the Wayans brothers are pissed off at the other actors for doing Scary Movie 3 and 4. Which, as a concept, narrowly speaking, makes sense. That's a fun concept for a meta joke, in the sense of the returning creatives who got ousted out of their franchise is angry at the actors who continue being in the franchise without them. That is a fun concept, and that would be really funny in a film that knew how to write jokes, and in a film that knew how to be funny. And then the eventual ending being like, the old characters go like, nah, let's kill the new cast, fuck these guys, because they all go like, you're all old and we're young and hot. And then the old cast, like Regina Hall and Anna Faris and the Wayans brothers, like set them on fire, and then they leave the house because, like, yeah, we're back, bitches. Jesus Christ. And what I will say is, and all this film does in terms of, like, just to me, the best thing of a parody film, if you're doing a parody of something, the best thing that what I should get from it is that I should be able to laugh at how silly something is, but feel that there's love for the thing that they're parodying. Again, like someone like Naked Gun, they make fun of the narrations, and they make fun of the femme fatales, and they make fun of the stoic protagonist, and they make fun of a lot of things. But you can clearly see that the makers behind that actually have a love for film noir and a love for the old Naked Guns as well. And it acknowledges how ridiculous the tropes are without being like, isn't this stupid? Whereas all that Scary Movie does, it just goes, do you remember Final Destination Bloodlines? Do you remember this? And all I want to do is, instead of, like, thinking to myself, oh yeah, isn't that silly? That what that other film does. All it does is, like, I see a Scream 6 reference, and I just would much rather watch Scream 6. I see a Smile 2 reference, and I just wish I would watch Smile 2. or I'd much rather watch Sinners, or I'd much rather watch Weapons, or I would much rather watch literally anything else other than the film I am currently watching right now. And there was another point I was going to make, and I can't quite remember it. It's bad. It's terrible. I hate it. I don't think I'll ever watch another scary movie ever again. It's just all extreme. Like, it's just, I don't know. They marketed it like every line's going to get crossed, and some people may think, oh, is this going to try to be too edgy? Not even. There's not a single point where I'm like, oh, they went too far. I've never felt a scary movies ever went too far with offensive humor. If anything, I've just felt it's like just immature humor, and it's just shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I can't remember the point I was going to make. Nope, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's awful. It's crap. I hate everything about it. But if you like scary movies, I don't know, you might like it. But I don't. And that's my thoughts on Scary Movie 6. What are your thoughts on the film? Comment below. Let me know what you thought. If you like the video, give it a like, give it a share. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to watch more reviews of me talking about my thoughts on films. Links are in the description below for the Crazy Stupid Kino Instagram page, as well as my own Instagram page and my Letterboxd account to see if you want to see what I'm watching and all that jazz. There's stuff here on the side for more videos and whatnot. Until next time, guys, I shall see you later.